And we've more than backed them up. We did a job that nobody ever thought was possible. It's a decision for the President of the United States. Now, with that being said, we're going to work with the states because it's very important. You have local governments. They're pinpointed. It's really, you talk about, like a microchip.
Like a microchip.
And we've been driving that cost down hard because we want a cashless society.
I've said it before. I will say it again. We can't balance the budget on the backs of the very people who have borne the biggest brunt of this recession. Everyone's going to have to chip in. Chip in.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens. We will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. It will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system. It's really, you talk about, like a microchip.
Like a microchip.
A proper tracking system. On sea, it will be in air. We will.
Shalom. Call Halam La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Haracha'a Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth in sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. This is the brother Zion Amawan coming at you with another lesson to feed the lambs through the Holy Spirit. Haracha'a Kodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and to the point. And in this lesson, we're going to get into biometric tracking through the C-hip. Biometric tracking through the C-hip. Okay? And as you can see, 47 said it's going to be on land, it's going to be in the sea, in the air, you name it. All right? And he calls it a proper tracking system, but ultimately, all right, it is a badge of servitude. All right? That is literally what it is. That C-hip is a badge of servitude. Okay? Because these elites, all right, starting with these elite banking families, all right, that actually runs the world on the left-hand side, because the scriptures say the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, the earth was handed to them. All right, and really, you know, Esau is setting up Jake for the alley-oop to rule forever, because you know Esau's blessing is the sword. Okay. Esau's blessing is the sword, and the Lord is going to use Esau to destroy himself with the blessing that was given. You know, this is the violent man. This is the wicked. All right. These elites, man. All right. We're not talking about the low level Edomites. All right. They are nothing. They are the sheep, and you know what I'm saying? And then, and Esau going, you know what I'm saying, wipe them out. Okay, because if you're in Babylon, you're done. You know, you have to be in the chariots. Okay, Babylon is the lake of fire, man. All right. So during this time, all right, of the C-hip, you're going to be tracked. You're going to have a social credit score. You're going to have a universal basic income that was given to you by your, you know, so-called new founding fathers. All right. And you're going to be re-educated in this 15-minute city. All right. Prison cities. You know, you won't be able to go into these stores without a C-hip or the proper tracking system. You know, You won't be able to go into these stores. You won't be able to buy nothing. You won't be able to work. You won't be able to do shit. All right? Nothing. You won't be able to have a YouTube account. Nothing. Because don't you got to log in? You know? You're going to have to scan yourself in, man. All right? With everything. Everything you do is tracked because this devil has a godlike complex, man. You know? Let's get that. Second Thessalonians 2. And let's go to I mean, I don't want to. I just go ahead and get to the point. 2 Thessalonians 2:4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh Shema Shai, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, and that is Esau, man. Esau think he's a god. He think he's a power. You know, to the point where he have painted himself that way. That's why the scriptures say they covered the faces of the judges thereof, man. You know, and they said that they was the Lord. They said they was Jeremiah. They said they was you. You know, and me. You know. So if you take this C-hip, by him having a godlike complex, it's all about who you worship. That's how these small hats thinking. That's how, you know what I'm saying? This is what the Lord is telling you. This is what the small hats think. You know? They think they are a power, but the Most High put the spirit on them to have that thought, and that thought turns into an action. You know, they are like puppets of the Most High. Yahweh Shema Shai controls the left and the right hand side. You know, so in this cashless society, you're gonna be having a lot of people getting the spirit put on them to go take that thing. You know, the spirit is gonna get put on them to take that. That's why we pray and hope that Yahweh Shema Shai keep us in that hour of temptation. You know? And the Lord gonna let us watch people, you know, prosper a little bit with that C-hip and all of that, just for a little bit, and then they get destroyed. The Lord gonna have us watch people eat and drink with that shit. You know? You know, and or until the Lord zap their ass. You know, the Lord gonna zap them. All right. Let's go to Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. Let's get that word causeth, okay? Because this is what Trump is doing, all right? And this is what these elites are doing, because they're going to have laws, they're going to have ordinances, all right, structure according to this biometric tracking system. You know, they're going to have laws to back up what you do, you know, kind of like not jaywalking. You know, there's bylaws and stuff like that. It's going to be bylaws with the C-hip too, you know, to where you can just utterly just not do shit, but be a slave to the elites. It's strong, causeth is Strong's G 4160 Paeo, all right, which is to be the authors of, you know, Who is the author of all mischief? You know, ding ding. You know the answer. Esau Edom. All right. The self-proclaimed white man. Starting with these elites. All right. You already know the families. To be the authors of, the cause, to make ready, to prepare, to make a thing out of something, to make, render one anything, listen good, to constitute or appoint one anything, to appoint or ordain. You hear that? So, you know, they gonna have laws, you know, to justify this biometric tracking system. It's gonna be a whole new way of living. How you living now ain't gonna be that. It's gonna be different. You know? You're gonna be having people getting scheduled to get put to death. I might be scheduled to be put to death. I might be. You know? We all gotta have that in the back of our mind. Like, yo, it could be me. We all gotta hold that in the back of our mind, man. You know? Some of us gotta be mortars. Matter of fact, let's get it. Revelation 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh Shemawashah, and which had not worshipped the beast, NATO on the EU, neither his image, which is the revised Roman Empire, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. You see, it don't matter what hand. Okay, you got people out here, they ain't got no arms and legs. You know, they may get the C-hip in their arm or some shit, or they may just get the brain C-hip. You know, Elon Musk just had an interview of you know, like not like him, but it was his patient, had an interview of having a brain C-hip, and he been living with it for a year now. And he was just giving like his little update and everything. This motherfucker playing video games and chess with just thinking. You know, those are those lying wonders. You know, they're trying to entice you and show you like, yo, this is cool. Yeah, come on, get the C-hip, man. You know, and then eventually it's going to be, no, you going to get it or die. Just like how they did the JAB. At first, yeah, it don't matter. You can go ahead and get the JAB whenever you feel like it, if you feel, and then it turned into no jab, no job. As soon as they took the jab, they turned around and said, you ain't got to get the jab no more. You can keep your job. And all them niggas that took the jab, none of them niggas protest. It was no uproars of the people about that. Them niggas just went back to work coughing. Oh, man. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. All right. So look, being a martyr for not taking the C-hip, that comes with a great reward. You're going to get dominion. You're going to get judgment, man. You're going to have power, you know? All right? And you're going to reign. You're going to be a part of that first dominion. You'll be able to see ground zero of the kingdom getting built. I'm talking about when rocks on the ground, the missiles just now, like the lake of fire just now dissipated You got smoke coming up and everything. You got debris everywhere. And then, you know what I'm saying, the New Jerusalem get beamed down with power, with infinite, omnipotent power. You know, man, like Black Adam, like many Yahushas, like many Most Highs, man. You know? Straight get beamed down. Whoom. You know how like Superman and them be landing? You know? Or like how Hancock be landing and you just crack the fucking ground. It's on like Donkey Kong now. It's time to snatch motherfuckers up. Lord's will. Lord's will. We a part of that number, man. Lord's will. You know? Lord's will. Let's go back to Revelation 13. All right. And let's go back to verse 16. And he causeth all. All right. So everybody got to get it. There are going to be laws that's going to make you get it. You know, just like how they did the JAB. Pay attention. You know? Same shit. Same shit. It's just a different, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the same mousetrap, but it got different bait on it. The first one was cheese. Now it's peanut butter. Same mousetrap. They just do it a little different. You know? And he causeth all, both small and great. All right? The small fries that work at McDonald's, all the way up to Floyd Mayweather and them. And, you know, these damn celebrities and, you know, LeBron and them and all that. Because if they want to keep them damn millions, they going to get that damn C-hip. Because mind you, if you don't get it, you're going to be put to death. But also, you're going to be ostracized out of society. You're going to be like them niggas in that movie Demolition Man, living under the street, coming up from the sewer, stealing Taco Bell and going right back down in the damn sewer. For real. That's how the Lord finna have it. You know? And a lot of these, you know, people, because it ain't just Jake. It's going to be everybody. You know? They're going to be in these detention camps. And in order for you to be released, you might have to go ahead and get that gauze, you know, Band-Aid, you know, that Palisade, which is the needle, you know. And a lot of people going to be looking dumb as hell at their hand, too, walking out the back door. You know? You can be having kids crying in the fucking house. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. All of that mess. You know? I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. And you got this big black Eve. John, you gotta do something. And this nigga gonna go down there. Or he may go ahead and come in the house and this bitch sitting on the damn couch looking at her fucking hand looking stupid. You know? With a damn fridge full of shit. And you might be a brother in the truth that came home and seen that. And your girl sitting on the couch looking at her hand with a fridge full of shit. And you know what I'm saying? She want to entice you to get it because it'll be more for a man in that day. Rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. And that's the Neuralink too. Because they get it in their head. And that no man might buy or sell, right? So it ain't all about just owning the business and nothing like that, you know? Because mind you, when you clock into these jobs, you are selling yourself. Because you're selling your labor. So you're selling. You're still selling yourself. You know, you got to sell yourself to get the fucking job. The damn interview got to act like you fake cool with the fucking boss just to get the job. You know, yiquab it. Knowing damn well this old stinking ass Edomite, all right, got corny jokes and unseasoned just like his spirit. You know? So you got to sell yourself, sell your personality, be, you know, to get the job. Come on now. Or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You see? So, you know, yeah, man, point been made. The biometric tracking system. All right. Do not take the C-hip. All right. If we got to be mortared, we got to be mortared. But we going to be risen first. You know. And if we get beamed up, that means we're going to endure until the end. All right. And we're going to see it all go down. Lord's will. This lesson was edifying. I want to give infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. We on the next one. Abaratazah. Shalom.